With 2024 here and the football season pretty much wrapped up, companies are starting to roll out all their products that are coming out this season. Now, we already did video on Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour's 2024 catalog, but in that video we actually didn't talk about Nike cleats because they're not technically out yet, and we didn't give you our opinions on which products we're actually excited for outside of those. So in this video, we're going to look at all the most highly anticipated products coming out in 2024 and which ones we're the most excited for. Okay, so the first one for me has got to be the Nike VaporJet 8 Cold Weather Edition. Now, being Canadian, I've played in some cold games that we used to do things like put surgical gloves underneath, or on the sideline put winter gloves over top of our normal gloves, just do something to keep our hands warm. Well, Nike is finally trying to fix that this year, and when the guys at Nike showed us these a couple months ago for the first time, I absolutely fell in love with these, and I'm so excited to get my hands on them. So these are basically a two-piece system, so you put this liner on over top and it sticks out at the bottom of the glove, and then over top of that you put the actual football glove. It's replicating what we used to do with trying to put something thin underneath to give you a little bit more warmth, except now it's actually made to fit within that system. And on top of that, the grip for this is Nike's D-Tac grip, which they use in their LINEMAN gloves. It's a friction grip, it's kind of rubber based, which is going to make it better for cold weather conditions. So honestly, these are going to be so sick. Next is going to be the Top Bar Axiom. Now, if you guys missed this on our podcast, we actually talked about that at AFCA. Rell just announced that they're going to create a Top Bar version face mask for the Rell Axiom. Now, a lot of people hated the Axiom before knowing anything about it just because of the way it looked. It got rid of the top bar of a face mask and was just a completely revolutionary design, although very safe, didn't pass the eye test for a lot of people. Now, it's not just looks. Having no top bar did cause some problems that they found out throughout the year, and now Rell is going back on that and adding a top bar to the face mask. The reason I'm excited for this is because adding that top bar will help finally pass that eye test for some people, let the technology and the safety side stand for itself this season, and hopefully see more NCAA and NFL guys test it out, and that way we can get better and more accurate results on how it compares to other helmets. Now, this year, Nike and Under Armour both dropped gloves and cleats in women's exclusive colorways and sizes. The reason this is a big deal is it ensures that the game is going to be around for a long time. Over the past couple of years, we've kept hearing about how football is going to slowly die off. This is showing that it's trending the other way, so that's good for me. Finally, my demographics are dominated by male, so if I can get some more women in here, balance this thing out, I can sell more ads, I can do more videos. Business side, it's good if women get involved. Finally, number 3, there's actually no 3, just things normally come in 3s, but I don't really have one here. So yeah, women's stuff is here. Now, before you go all the way and giving Nike and Under Armour all this praise for doing this, basically all they did this year was they took all their men's stuff and they kind of rebadged it for their sizes. So what would be considered a women's large would be now like a men's medium or a men's small. So basically just rebadged the sizing on it to fit a women's size hands better. They also gave it a couple different colorways, like a purple and like an electric kind of colorway. So a little bit different stuff there. However, Massov is the only company that's used a different template specifically for women's hands. So women's hands are shaped different than men's. Now, long term, that will be something they have to do. But this year, they're kind of dipping their toes in that water of creating football products specifically for women. Either way, I think it's a win. Next, Nike cleats. I'm actually going to create a separate video going through all the different cleats that Nike is going to come out with this year and their strategy behind it. But for this video, we're just going to go through the list of some of the cleats that Nike has coming out this year that I'm the most excited for. Nike Vapor Untouchable, Nike Force Savage 3, Nike Vapor Edge Diamond Turf 96, and LeBron 4s. And Nike doesn't release a catalog like Adidas and Under Armour, so we actually don't know everything coming out for the year, but we've seen it all in testing, we've seen it all in the field, so we kind of have a pretty good idea. Now, I know I haven't talked a lot about Adidas in this video, and frankly, that's because we're still a little bit confused by their naming structure and getting used to it. We saw all their Coronation stuff that dropped, and it does look sick, but it's just taking a little bit of time to get used to the new naming structure with Electric, Chaos, and Impact. We are super excited to get our hands on all the new Adidas products for this year, but until we get our hands on them, there's just not a ton of hype around these yet. Finally, competition. This year, almost everyone is bringing something new to the table, which we haven't seen in a really long time. Since COVID hit, supply chains across the board have been completely messed up for Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, and you definitely know it hit all the smaller companies out there like Cutters, Grip Boost, and Next Trend. But this year, it feels like everyone is ramped back up and everyone is stepping back in that ring. Grip Boost has a new model, Cutters is gonna have a new gamer, Nike is completely refreshed, Adidas is completely refreshed, Under Armour did some stuff. With Nike falling off over the past couple years, it feels like everyone is now trying to get that top spot, and Nike is also fighting back. The reason I'm excited about this, tons of videos, tons of hype, it's good for business. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Those are some of the things I'm most excited about for this year, but I'd love to know down below, what do you know is coming up this year that you're most excited for? Again, I'll see you next time.